Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bindi, and on this channel we practice flexibility of the mind, body, and the spirit. I am so glad you're here and I'm so excited to talk to you about the subject matter of today. Today we are going to talk about procrastinating joy and why you should stop doing it. Feel it now, feel it today. I'm not just going to tell you to find joy. I'm going to teach you how to find joy with scripting. Now, before we get too deep into this video, I do want to shout out Orrin Harris. He is an Instagram page that I followed. He made a video yesterday talking about how to stop procrastinating and putting off your joy, as well as talking about the danger of procrastinating your joy and always pushing it into the future.
There's a secret tip to beating procrastination. I'm about to flip it on its head. Don't procrastinate your joy. Woo! Let that one sink in. Procrastination is almost always associated with productivity. But what about your joy? Where do you delay your play? Where are you procrastinating your joy, putting it off into the future for some moment when you will allow yourself to feel the richness, the aliveness of open-hearted joy?
If you are a person who knows that there is potential for happiness, there is potential for more joy in your life, you're just not sure how to access that joy, this video is going to be for you. The first thing that I want you to know is that new levels of joy require bravery. The big reason that joy is so unobtainable to so many is because they've lived lives where joy has been limited. Because that joy has been limited joy feels comfortable. And when opportunities to up the joy, up the happiness, up the fun come along, often those opportunities come off as negative, whether they come off as cheesy, corny, or just scary and unattractive. Those opportunities can seem so unobtainable to that person who has difficulty feeling joy. And even if a person is in a situation where they're forced to experience the experience, it could just be so uncomfortable and such a drag. But when you consciously know that expanding into a joyous person requires bravery, in those moments where you're being forced to experience something good, you can realize that your body is scared of the good. And because you can consciously realize that that bravery is required to feel that joy, you can remind yourself that how your body feels is natural. That doesn't mean we have to reject the joy. We don't have to reject the expansion. We can just consciously know that we're not used to what we're experiencing. Oh man, this happens a lot with women who, I'm not a man, so I can't speak for men, but this happens a lot with women who decide that they want better for themselves. They date losers and then they attempt to date men who are better than the losers, but they always find things that are wrong with healthy men because the healthy men offer joy, stability, and no drama. But because that woman may not be used to a life of joy, stability, and no drama, they reject that partner. And, that's just an example. Watch out for it. Okay. So now let's talk about scripting. Where does scripting fall into all of this? If you don't know what scripting is, I'm going to put a link to my scripting video in the description box that breaks down how to script, because if I explain that right now, this video will be far too long. So check out the video in the description box. Scripting joyful events may trigger you. What do you mean? Have you heard of cognitive dissonance? I told myself I was gonna Google the definition before I filmed this video and I didn't. So I'm gonna tell you what I mean to the best of my ability. And hopefully I wasn't wrong for like 29 years of my life. To my understanding, cognitive dissonance is when a person learns new information, but because that information does not align with their entire belief system, they choose to reject that new information no matter how much common sense is involved. Actually, we can go back to the subject of women who date losers. Actually, I'll just talk about myself. I'm gonna take the spotlight off of y'all. I'll just talk about myself. In the past, when I would date losers, I can even reference one of my longest relationships, and that man was just so bad to me. And I had friends who would come to me and be like, okay, if this girl had this happen to her, she would have low self-esteem, right? And I would be like, yes. And then they would be like, so why do you let this man do this to you? And I'd be like, because I love him. And that is cognitive dissonance, when you do not see the reality of your situation because of your belief system. What I'm saying for that specific example is that my belief system aligned with the idea that when you love someone, it doesn't matter what they do to you. Toxic. So back to joy. When you script, you may realize how low your tolerance for joy really is. And I think this happens with the majority of us who discover the law of attraction, the law of assumption. At first, we don't want to admit how unhappy we are. We don't want to admit how lost in the sauce we are. And that cognitive dissonance is only slowing your journey down. See where you are, honestly, clearly. And no matter what, there's going to be resistance at the beginning. Expect it and keep going. You guys know, me and Jesus now. Me and Jesus are getting real close. And I'm telling you, Christianity has humbled me. It has humbled me so much. I'm not going to say that I've ever been the type of person to be like, I don't have anything more to learn, but I did believe that I knew a lot. And maybe there wasn't much more. And that type of thinking is so toxic, because when you think that way, you're really just protecting yourself from how bad your trauma and how toxic your belief system really is. You can't really heal and solve your belief system when you think that you're so enlightened, right? So that being said, when we script, have an open heart and know that you don't know everything. Know that you're not the happiest person in the world. Know that you are not perfect. And none of these things in negative ways. Just be open to what source has to tell you, what source wants to bring you, and grow in that way. You may find out that you don't believe that certain levels of joy are possible. For example, the woman who keeps dating losers. That woman may believe that there's no chance of her ever getting married. There are so many different limiting beliefs that women have that are blocking them from healthy relationships and marriages. Let's say she has a kid. Let's say the woman has a son. And subconsciously, she believes that no good man is going to want to marry her because she has a son, right? Which is so wrong, but hey, we're rolling with it. So that's her cognitive dissonance. So she's scripting about finding a good man. She's scripting about being happy with this man. And then she starts to think, where's my son gonna be? I can't be this happy and my son's not even in the room. What am I gonna do with my son when this man wants to go on a trip? You know what? I don't even want to script anymore. Right? Right? So if we know about cognitive dissonance, and if we practice awareness of it while we're scripting, we'll be able to breathe and pace ourselves through the exercise. I think it's also very powerful to script scenarios simply to feel joy. Not scripting scenarios to talk about material things gained, but instead script about feeling as joyful as possible. Really challenge yourself to script about any type of event, whether it's even just sitting in your home. Any type of event that you are so joyful, that you feel so connected to source, where you feel so aligned with the universe and love and your purpose. Script about that to really see your resistance against that feeling. And actually, while we're here, I think I would like to mention my new group coaching program called Sunday Scripting. So excited. We will meet every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are 3 things that I want to accomplish with Sunday Scripting. The first is teaching my students how to shift into a theta state, how to shift their brain into a theta state so that they can access their subconscious easier. It's kind of like being behind the switchboard. You'll see what I mean. It's kind of weird to explain abstractly. Second, we'll do a short Q&A. This is an opportunity for everyone to ask questions, and if somebody brings up a block that they're experiencing, if they are willing, I would really like to talk about their block in front of the whole group for the benefit of the student and of the rest of the group. Lastly, obviously, we will script together. I will talk you through my process, guide you through my process, and I'll also be available for you to ask questions to, like right there, right while we're scripting. Whatever comes up, I'm there. I'm your girl. So if any of this sounds good to you, check out the description box and there will be a link to my new group coaching program. Fun, 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 sis, fun. I just trimmed my locks and no one can tell me anything. Last but not least, conditioning versus choice. Let's talk about it. The first time you script, to feel joy. You're gonna feel a small, tiny baby shift. I mean, unless you script the perfect thing ever and you feel a huge shift. You know, it's different for everybody. But no matter what, you're gonna learn something about yourself. And it's gonna be your choice to incorporate and implement what you've learned. Once you familiarize yourself with joy and how it feels, it is your responsibility to cultivate that joy in your real life because you know how it feels in your body. No longer can you say that I'm just this way, I don't know any better, this is just how I am. No, no, no. Because on a piece of paper, you were joyful and you experienced it in your body. So now you know that there's different for you. It takes bravery to take this new energy that has the potential to change your entire reality and bring it into your relationships, bring it into your home, bring it into your daily experiences. That takes bravery, but it's a choice. It is a choice. You're not being pushed and pulled by the way that you were taught. You're not living life through your conditioning anymore. If you script and you see yourself as a more joyful person and you choose to not pursue that, it then becomes a choice, babe. It then becomes a choice. And we're all here to make choices that feel good to us. But I think that that's where our internal power comes from knowing when we're making specific choices. Definitely go at a pace that feels good for you, but even keeping in mind how your vibration shifted during the scripting exercise is so powerful. I'm not telling you that you have to make a bunch of new choices today, tomorrow, the day after, but just keeping that shift, that vibrational shift, that emotional shift, the idea that, oh my gosh, my potential is so much more limitless than I ever thought. Just keeping that in mind will make it easier to do things in your physical reality that align with the you that's on that piece of paper. So no more being controlled by conditioning. It's now a choice. Who do you want to be? And that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it because I enjoyed making it. If you did, give it a thumbs up so other people on YouTube know that it's valuable. Also, if you would like me to expand on anything that I've talked about today, let me know down in the description box. The comment box? Let me know down in the comment box and I'll be happy to talk about it in the future. Last but not least, please make sure that you are subscribed and that you click that notification bell so you can be notified when I come out with new videos and so that you can join the Bendy Bunch. I love you so much and I'll see you next time. Bye.